Hey lads and ladies, the Briscoe here and welcome back to our Dawn of Civilization series for episode 2. In the first episode, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. You will end up being a bit confused why the map looks like this. But in the video before, I put out a goal at the end of the video of 10 likes, and within 2 days of the video being uploaded, you guys absolutely smashed it, so thank you very much. There's hope for 10 likes again on this one, and without further ado, let's go straight into episode 2. On the dawn of a new year, the birth of a brand new nation is happening just down south of this blue-purple nation. These people are native to these lands and have only just formed the country. After hearing the blue team's success and strength, they get scared that their lands might start to be taken over, so they form their own nation, uniting the people in this region together to defend from many threats, mainly the purple team in case a war happens. These green islands decide to unite back with the purple team after breaking 3, as their influence did not grow as much as they would have liked, and they're starting to regret leaving the empire, especially when your own citizens start to rebel from you. They change their mind and join back to the purple team. The purple team is obviously happy about this, and there is a party held in the purple's capital. Just like the last couple of years, the orange team went up on these hills to find out a place to expand and find new nations, because they were very isolated in these plains. They saw houses and little torches from a far distance. After some explorers went down from the orange team and met this green nation, they got along very well together and actually decided to unite their nation together under one empire. The green team has almost doubled its landmass. This South Yellow nation at the very bottom of the second continent in this world forms a religion of their own to try and counter this blue religion. Acts a sort of branch off of this purple blue nation, who obviously they don't really like. They're not the best of friends, especially when this nation expanded along this coast and went into the territory this yellow team calls theirs. The yellow team wants to dominate this whole continent, including this very friendly, quiet nation in the northwest. On these islands to the east of the blue and red nations, the people living on these islands form a nation of their own as well, and they consist of these islands. This is slightly annoying the red and blue nations sort of influence and trade, because they use this region for fish, but now they have to share it with a separate nation as well. This nation changes their colour, mainly because it's very hard to see. Brown team finds it hard to hold their own nation together, and a few provinces in the north break away to form their own nation. It was later discovered that the brown team finds out that this green nation that rebelled from them was actually influenced by the purple nation. So the green nation that rebelled from brown decides to unite with the dark purple nation. This goes against what the red team hoped for. The red team fought the purple team and themselves decided to agree that this nation would not be invaded or united with anyone, as it's used as a buffer between the two nations. The red team kind of feels like the purple team just betrayed them and hurt them quite a bit, so now the red team is very annoyed. So what do? They unite with the brown team. The remainder of the brown team joins up with the red team because the brown team now hates the purple nation after what they just did, so they want to seek revenge, and by doing so they joined the red team. This is making this region of the world up here very intense, especially with there now being the dark gold's team. I said the whole name wrong, I just realized that. The dark gold team's capital is right on the border, so this is going to be, if a war breaks out, a very bloody war, mainly for this place. The blue nation decides to expand along the hills. The blue nation is kind of chilling at the moment. They've seen what the red team's done and they're kind of siding with the purple team, but they're also kind of neutral. You see, the blue nation isn't very happy with what the purple team has done to the gold nation. The blue team kind of thought it was a good idea to keep this nation between the two separate, used as the buffer, but now the blue team, after that union, they're kind of just, they don't know what to do. They're in a sticky situation. The yellow team's capital is on the map. It's not coastal. I think this is the first non-coastal capital. Yes, I'd say so. The slight blue nation decides to give independence to the region down south. This pink nation forms a religion. I don't think it's going to get much followers, but there it is. And the black team expands more around these hills. And up here is a new nation. This nation is orange, just like the one over by this lake. If you want to give it a name, let me know. If you want to name anything, hills, plains, mountains, cities, whatever, islands, feel free put a name for everything in the map and leave a timestamp or a description of what you're trying to name, and there we go, I'll name it from there. But anyway, this orange nation now exists. Although it is orange like this nation over here, it is completely separate and has nothing to do with these people down there. This light blue foamy colour defeats the rebellion that recently rebelled from them, but unfortunately for the pink team, forming a religion was not a good idea. Some people absolutely hated the idea and decided to rebel. So it's the smallest nation. It is the smallest nation now, but it wasn't the smallest nation, because actually the smallest nation was these islands up here. Which I don't know why there's blue pixels there, I'll get rid of that in a minute. Yellow Nation continues expanding along the coast towards these hills, and because they expanded more south, more along the coast, they find another nation on a new continent and begin to form trade with them. It's a rather large nation, this one, almost as big as the yellow team itself. Blue team changes its mind on giving them freedom, and kind of just unites the nation back together again. You know what? The yellow team is growing in influence. We don't like that, so we're going to unite back together again. And there's nothing you can do about it, basically. The green influence grows even more in the north of this continent. It's gone to the point where they've now united with the orange team. This nation is massive. This nation is going to be very huge. If they can connect all their land up, they're going to be very strong. The green team is just uniting everyone over here. It's really impressive, actually. Welcome back, Green Islands. They're back once again. The red team, still seeking revenge, unites with these islands down here. Blue-purple nation actually feels kind of threatened because now they're even more surrounded. The red team also begins to block off trade or some sort of access to fishing around these islands for the blue team. The blue-purple nation is slowly leading towards the dark-purple nation for friendship as well. Blue-purple nation's not happy about this. The pink nation did not really mind because they were struggling. Just being these few islands barely connected was very hard for them. This bright green nation in this new southern continent talks to the yellow nation about a religion. This nation likes the ideas of religions and decides to form their own one. The yellow team's okay with it as long as they don't spread it to their nation, because they've got their own religion and they want to stick with that. In the very far south of the new continent, based on this river and these mountains, much like the red team, who they have no idea about, this nation doesn't know anyone, to be fair. They're brand new. You barely even know this nation exists. But they've formed in the south. The green team keeps their promise to the first orange nation and grabs up these hills like they wanted to do in the first place. The pink team's capital's on the map, and this nation just north of the red team starts an expansion inland to get more of the plains for easier farming, because they are based on these mountains and hills. The purple team starts to expand and is gaining more territory for themselves. After getting their freedom, these green islands actually do a thing. They grab this island and start to make their way north as they want to claim more territory for themselves. They want some influence. The reason they joined back with the purple team originally is because they didn't have much influence and they felt kind of insignificant. So they want to start their expansion and form a much better kingdom than what they did before, and actually have some influence and legacy. The Dark Purple Nation's kind of annoyed at that because they wanted these islands for themselves, but, well, I guess they just have to live with it. Once again, in the very bottom of this continent, there's a new nation. They came for this island on this weird inland sea. Not really an inland sea. I'm not sure what you call this piece of land. Just an ocean. This is kind of like the the green team up north. They're very coastal, even reaching down from these mountains and all the way over here. They own a lot of land. They're actually pretty big. The Green Nation fulfills more promises to the kingdoms they united with. For the second Orange Nation, they grab these islands and start to connect up their territory in the west. The Light Blue Nation starts to feel threatened by the Yellow's influence and growth, so they start expanding themselves. But they can't go too far inland because of there is a desert, so there's not going to be much point. Now for a big event in this series that you might have seen coming, you might not have. But we have the very first alliance being formed. It is the Red Alliance, and it consists of the red team and, of course, this yellow nation down here. You might have seen this coming, you might not have seen this coming. Obviously, the red team has an enemy of this light blue nation. Obviously, the yellow nation has an enemy of this light blue nation here. And the red nation has the enemy of the purple team up north. They both have the same ideals of expansion and becoming the strongest on their own continent. So why not form an alliance? It's the first one of the series. Now, what does this mean for this yellow nation down here? If there's a war between this blue nation and the yellow nation, then this light blue nation kind of feels like they're going to lose. They're not that strong. They don't have that much population. This yellow nation down here has a lot of population, mainly in this region down here. But because the red team united with this pink island nation recently, they are now very close to their coastline. So this means that there is a new alliance being formed. This is a big one. It's a one where this nation was kind of stuck on which side to pick, either the red nation or the purple nation. They were kind of neutral. But yes, I'm talking about this nation. They're forming their own, and it is, of course, with this light blue nation down south. If a war ever happens between these two, it is going to be a really big one. These are both, of course, military alliances. Yes, this light blue nation did rebel from this blue purple nation, but they've actually become good friends ever since, and they have common enemies and common threats. So there we go. It seems pretty obvious why not. The blue team sends the alliance offer up to the purple team, but the purple team says no, and they decline respectfully. The green team is actually starting to adopt a new religion, and they're gone with the pink religion. This pink religion has actually proved me wrong. It's actually spread pretty well up in the north, actually. This blue nation sees that the what's this, dark greenish blue nation is expanding into the plains. They want more of the plains, so they've gone and done the same. They don't want to cut them off, but this dark green nation's kind of feeling like they are being cut off. More nations begin to form in the south of this continent. This one being based on this peninsula, has a border with the river, so very nice borders. So the green team took the pink team's religion, changed their mind about it, and don't want to follow it anymore, and decide to form their own one instead. The pink team is going to cry. They're not very happy. They're very sad. Purple Nation is going to continue expanding, and they get another city on the map. Dark Purple City is now on the map, the second city for this Dark Purple Nation. These two cities are very, very close to each other. In fact, this was one city, but it got split in half due to the uniting that happened. So they are pretty close together. Hey guys, you'll never guess what happened, but there is another union. The green team has got another union with someone else and is uniting and has invited this light blue sort of cyan nation thing into the union. So welcome to the four-way union now. We've got one nation, another nation, another nation, and another nation. If they can unite these lands and keep themselves from falling apart, that's going to be a very strong nation. Green team starts to claim the remainder of this island and get their capital on the map, which is of course on this island. Why is their capital on this island and not over here? Well, that's because most of their population are on these two islands, a little bit on this one over here. But these two islands are very developed, and this region up here, it has barely any development. A couple ports on the coast maybe, but they're focused on just grabbing as much land as possible before actually working on it. This dark greenish blue coloured nation is trying to expand more into the plains more aggressively because they are scared the blue team's going to cut them off. In the south, more expansions keep happening with this light blue nation, as it is definitely the strongest nation on this continent. And of course, a new nation up in the north is formed. Guess who's back? Yes, it is the purple nation from last episode. They are back. They've somehow made their way down here. Some of the people from this purple nation made their way down here and have, well, set up a new nation down on this brand new continent, hoping to not get eaten up again like their territory is. Because if you remember, their capital is here. Well, their capital was here, because it says on the map, purple cap. This was where the purple team was. They've now been forced all the way over here. They want better luck and a brand new start on a new continent that's barely got anyone on it, really. The red team find another island off the coast and continue more expansion up in the north, as the purple wants to counter the red team's expansion and expand their own. Green nation successfully connects its borders to the first orange nation up as they start working towards the second orange nation. Down in the south there's some more expansion, and of course for the purple team. Unfortunately for the yellow team, on these hills there's a new nation formed, very native to this land, and it's kind of stopped the yellow team's expansion towards the west. The yellow team's a little bit upset. The yellow team's kind of calm, except when it comes towards this one nation here. They very much hate this light blue nation. Up in the north, on this island right here, and along the coast, is the beginning of a new civilization. These people are Vikings. They like raiding, so unfortunately, for the purple team, this dark green nation and the lime nation, they're going to start having some Viking raiders come down and start to pillage these lands. That is about as far as those Vikings can reach for now, just this area here. As this blue purple nation continues to grow in population, they get another high density city on the map down here. And for the last time this episode, sea green colored nation does the final expansion to end off this episode. Now before we end, I do want to do the first power rankings of the series. So in terms of population, it will be going to the blue purple nation. They have the most cities, very stable. They're a very stable nation. They have lots of cities. There's lots of rivers, there's lots of food down there. So the blue purple nation will be winning. The second nation with the most people is this yellow nation down here. They are much like the purple team, except they are just more of a stable nation than having food and things like that. Obviously they rely on trade much more than the blue purple nation do. They trade with this blue and green nation down here. In number 3 for population, I'm going to say green team. It's very close between these ones. There's a big gap between first and second. These two have big distance of population. The blue team's ahead by miles. It's kind of close between third, fourth and fifth place. But third, I think, is going to be the lime nation, and then the purple nation and the red nation. These three are very close in population. It's very close. The red team is it looks like that they should have more population considering how big they are, and that's where civilization started, but unfortunately not. Unfortunately that's not the case. More people left for the purple nation, the blue purple nation, when the rebellion happened, due to the obviously the weird people in hats situation. Going on to military stats, from military top 5, the red team is winning that. Second place, it will be the purple team, dark purple team, and in third for military, it is the blue purple nation. In fourth, it is the yellow nation, and in fifth, it is this blue nation here. They haven't done much, but they are pretty strong. They're not like up levels where the top 4 nations are. There's quite a drop, but they are there. They're stronger than everyone else. Go on to stability. The nation with the highest stability is, like I said before, is this blue purple nation. The second most stable nation is the dark purple at the top. The third most stable nation in the world at the moment is the pink team. The fourth most stable nation in the world is the red team, and the fifth most stable nation is the yellow team. A few things I do want to point out as well. In terms of technology and who's leading that, it is the purple nation by quite far. They are very naval based, especially being on this peninsula thing. They experiment with the navy quite a bit, so they will be leading the technology at the moment. And of course, we'll go through the maps as we're talking. These are the origin map modes for people who are interested in that, because most of the world came from the red team. And the faith map mode, it's not very dissimilar from the actual map. It's not very it's not very different. And of course, the cities map mode, the blue team has a lot of cities. Right, that is where we will be leaving this episode of our Dawn of Civilization series. This was episode 2 in the bag, all done and dusted. Let me know names for mountains, plains, continents, all that stuff in the comments. I will definitely check them out and use them. If you guys want to name anything, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video, all that jazz. If you really want to help me out, it'd be greatly appreciated. We're very close to 340 subscribers. We're only 2 away. By the time we upload this, we'll probably hit it. We're very close also to our end goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this year. If you have any game suggestions, whether it is strategy or history related or horror game related, do leave them in the comments below and I will check them out. And with nothing else to say, I hope you have a great rest of your day and have a good one.